There'll be a brief pause, a moment's silence in respect of Bill Tyquin, who played for Brisbane South, St George, and also captain Australia back in the 1940s. He passed away earlier this week, so that's the reason for the silence here at ANZ Stadium. Billy Tyquin.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Referee for the match is Tim Mander. Did we read something into that? As Mander jumped over the top of one or two referees for this weekend's match. Is he the man that might be in charge of the grand final whistle? Campion's been tackling his stomach out. Look at him, he's ready for it again. He's averaging up around 40 tackles per game. Ben Walker. Well, Shavosky was supposed to play on the wing according to the advertised program. He starts at full-back, he starts the match, and I estimate 40,000 people roared their approval as Webke brought it back to the 20-metre line. First play of the game, and the second with Michael Hancock, the last remaining of the original Broncos. This is Brad Thorne. Peter Serling and Paul Vorton in the commentary box as normal. Steve Roach on the sideline. And tonight's special comments from the King, Wally Lewis. Good defence by the Eels. Brisbane just on that occasion losing ground with the football. Ben Walker not able to make much headway at all. And three of the blue and golds put him down. Away for the kick. That's the left boot of Lockyer. Has almost become the consummate professional, Lockyer. This is Kelly. He's been to the First Division side. He's felt the highs and lows of rugby league all in one season.
And tremendous defence there from the Eels, late in the tackle count for Brisbane. Twice they got through on Lockyer, once on Walker. Kick at the end. Didn't pick up that many metres as Grote takes it to 40 out from his own line.
Well, Jim Dimmick runs the play towards the sideline on the western side of ANZ Stadium, and they're getting close to halfway with McCracken now. Callous coming over the top. McCracken a quick play the ball though. Penner with the right foot kick. It's big. Coming down towards the game's greatest crowd pleaser, Wendell Saylor. Fantastic atmosphere, as I said to you earlier. This will bring out the best in the Broncos, and it certainly won't go astray on Parramatta as they school some of the younger players for the big finals ahead.
And I do think that's the kind of kicking game we will see from Parramatta tonight. Midfield bombs high up in the air, and that means that the Brisbane players will be coming from a standing start. The chase is getting through quickly as Brisbane take it over the halfway line on the last tackle.
Kelly is out on the right wing for Parramatta. The kick down the ground is fielded by Shavosky. And here comes Quentin back. Blossomed into a marvellous rugby league player. He's one of the best kick returners in the game. It seems like an age ago that he was playing with the Crushers and at the centre of a controversial spotlight that he didn't need to know about. Players inside the Parramatta 40-metre line. They go down the blind side with Daniel Wagon, the former Dragon. David Penner there. Again, not a big kick. He's looking for a chaser, but Lockyer came out of the deep. Then runs back. Then puts on a swerve. The young man that many think is the best in the game today. Lockyer plays it inside the 30-metre line and a big roar from the crowd. Walker unloads for Walters. Walters has Saylor looming on his inside. 25. Score. Kraken came up and met him. Eyeballed him and put him away on the 20-metre line. Brittles then. Ball goes back for Tallis to play on. And then Walters.
6 again.
And 6 more from Walker away for Lockyer for De Vere. Now they're 12 out. Walters. Webke. Determined effort by Webke. That's how close they are to the blow. There's a chance. Campion. Best defensive team in the comp. They will find that out tonight. One would imagine. Walters, his pass goes up. It bounced off a Parramatta player, went backwards, and Stuart Kelly brings it out.
Well, great defence there from the Parramatta side, holding out for 10 or 12 tackles against the rampaging Broncos, and Darren Lockyer started it all with that slashing 30-metre run. And he has become the Alan Langer of this team now. He's their game breaker, but he's very hard to contain.
Jimmy. Skivoletti. Short side play for Kidwell. One of the success stories of the year, David Kidwell. McCracken offloading. Skivoletti asking the question why, and then back to Smith, and then Smith away for the 11th, which is Hindmarsh. Parramatta.
Oh, great run, Nathan Hindmarsh. The good young talents. If they go the short side again, no. Smith throws a dummy, finds metres up the middle, throws a silly pass, cleaned up by Walker.
Well, the atmosphere provided has already been described as that of a final, and some of these plays are reminiscent of it. Both teams very, very keen to score at every opportunity, and on a couple of occasions rather ill-advised. Thorne.
Very unusual tactic employed in defence by Brian Smith. Clinton Schiavowski is now back at fullback, but Stuart Kelly has been back there for the last 5 minutes. Those two players seem to be swapping every couple of minutes. Haven't seen Kelly play a lot at fullback.
Walters then. Had Lockyer with him on his inside. It's a question mark on Kelly whether he might have been wounded in a very early tackle. Webke! Heavy stuff. Skivoletti and Hindmarsh hit him hard. Away now for the boot from Lockyer to the bottom corner on the eastern side. And it's taken by young Eric Grove. It's a line dropout.
A wonderful take there from Eric Grove. Not an easy one. He had to turn and chase coming over his head. Plenty of pressure coming through, and unfortunately for Parramatta, gets the first touch in the field of play, takes it into the in-goal area.
Great shot from the airship provided by Goodyear. Chris Maddich, Bobby Sutton, thank you, Shane Watkus at Lightship Asia Pacific. Brian Smith right out there with the bench boys.
And after just 6 minutes interchange already, Moran coming into the game.
Not a good kick from under the bar. And Lockyer is put away. 25 out centre ground. Brittis looking. G, inside ball. Back to Brittis. Luke plays it just outside that 20-metre line. Flung back a couple of metres by McCracken. Now Tallis. McCracken's underneath. He's lost the ball. Got it back in. Put down eventually by Vella. Brisbane with all the territory. All the possession. Walker! They hammer that corner, Eric Groth's corner. Now they come wide. G for Lockyer. Lockyer gave it back for Tallis eventually. He puts a grubbing kick in. And it's with Clinton Schiavowski. Desperate defence by Campion for Brisbane.
Now, I've got to say that is a mark of respect to the Parramatta defence. Gordon Tallis opting to put a little grubber kick through. So much play down here. It will be a confidence builder for the blue and golds. Moran is on, so too Kalis. That's him with the football now.
Nathan Kalis, who made the national side for the Kiwis last year. This is Moran, tackled on the 30-metre line, wearing jumper 17. Bella picked up and put away. Heavy work by Thorne and Webke. As Penner drives it deep into Broncos territory for Sailor on his own line. Up goes the crowd again. The colourful winger brings it away.
Yeah, great kick there, and the chase matched the kick. It was 10 in a line there, nowhere for Wendell to go. Parramatta tonight really sneaking a lot of metres down the blind side. On the Brian Smith goal goes that.
A little bit of bad news for the Broncos early in the match. Darren Lockyer signalling to the bench that he's in a little bit of strife. He's just been replaced. 2 or 3 tackles it took for him to get back, and he has got a very wobbly limb.
Shot of Lockyer being attended to. Britis with a run from dummy half. This will be fielded by Parramatta's Stuart Kelly. And just trying to keep one eye on Darren Lockyer. At the same time as watching the play, Chavotsky.
Yeah, well, Lockyer's in some strife there, as you can see him with Ginger on that ankle. Lottie Fakiri actually put the kick in on that occasion. He's back at fullback now. And that appeared to be where the injury took place.
David Kidwell now. Moran. And Penner, an inside ball for McCracken, who's been working hard. McCracken's made 9 tackles, a couple of hit-ups. He's been very, very conspicuous in defence, though. Now Jason Smith out very wide, and Wagon playing in the centres inside Eric Grove. An inside ball back for the Parramatta number 15. That's Dallas Weston. He must have only just had the football in his hands when he was tackled. He's appealed for being tackled, not in possession. Jason Smith kicked out the ground, fielded by Michael Hancock, and then run back into the in goal. It'll be a line dropout at 0-all. 10 minutes gone. Brisbane and Para.
Yeah, they're going pretty well, Parramatta. They made some ground down the left-hand side of their field. And then a big kick from Jason Smith, and probably the most involved player in the match so far, Clinton Chavotsky, chased hard and took care of Hancock.
Line dropout to restart. This crowd, I'm looking at the bleachers away to the top right-hand corner. I can't see any vacant seats. I'm starting to think they might be up around 50,000. Wally, you've been here more than I have.
Well, yeah, I think if they don't list a crowd here of about 50, 51,000, I think there's going to be a bloke running down Kessel's Road with a big white bag in his hand. He'll be off to the bank.
Now Parramatta attacking. We'll get a report on Lockyer in a moment from the big fella. 15 out, centre ground. The blue and gold. Moran for Smith. For Dimmick, I should say. Now Kidwell, inside ball for Kelly. Back for Dimmick. Dimmick runs into Hancock. Got a ball away! Chavotsky. Away to Kelly. Now for Penner. Smith coming back. Tukey.
Parramatta will be putting a grubber kick through soon to test out Takiri. That was the attempted one from Moran. Execution was poor, cleaned up by Andrew G.
Let's take a report on Lockyer. Stephen.
He's got an ankle problem. He's with the doctor right at the moment, desperate to get back out there, so time will tell.
Peter Ryan. Campion. Brad Thornoff. Peter Ryan is out there. Britis has been very good for Brisbane in the opening exchanges. He's just taken a lot of the pressure, a lot of the weight off the other forward, the running forward. Now Saylor. Walker. Driving it over towards Stuart Kelly. Takes it on the legs. And then he's taken to ground by Hancock over the top of Sean Berrigan, playing in 15.
Sean Berrigan, one of 2 players that re-signed with the Broncos during the week. With Tony Carroll. Boost for the club as Growth goes centre field, pushes off one, gets through 2. Carries a couple and gets a pass away to Jason Smith. He's got support in Kalis.
There's nothing wrong with young Growth's confidence. Tremendous effort by another youngster that carries one of rugby league's big names. There's no better winger than Eric Growth, the senior. Most thrilling winger I think I've ever seen play the game. Moran. Now for Smith. Smith, rubber kick. And it'll go in touch and go. It'll come out to the 20-metre line for the restart for the Broncos. 13 and a half gone, and we have got nothing. This was young Eric, the Guru's boy. And I doubted that he might be confident enough to play in front of a full house at ANZ Stadium. Who's had the best of it, Wally?
Well, I think you've got to say Parramatta have. Every time that they're managing to get the football, as referee Tim Mander blows a penalty in Brisbane's favour, one that is desperately needed by the Broncos. There's plenty of their players with hands on the hips at the moment, but they know every time that they're carting the ball up, it's taking them 3 or 4 tackles to get into a position to be able to shift the ball. Parramatta making a lot more territory.
Penalty will help Brisbane off their 40-metre line, and the boot of Walker, and you saw some treatment there for Lockyer while Wally was offering his comments.
I don't think I've ever seen as many interchanges made early in the match. Haven't got 15 minutes yet, and I think every player on the bench, bar probably Philip Lee, has seen action.
This is Philip Lee now, tackled just inside the Parramatta 30-metre line. Well, if there's a problem up on Brisbane's end of the park with Lockyer, there may be a problem with Jason Smith. Walker. Jason is off the park at the moment. Now, Walters, second man play to Keary. Back on the inside for Tallis. Tallis is over the line. I don't know that he got it down. I don't know that he actually got it down in goal. He looks to bang the ball on the ground, but I think it might have come down in the field of play.
Yeah, from that shot, Gordon Tallis believes that he's tackled short of the line, didn't get the football down, and he's getting ready to play it. Sliding over. Ball. Oh, just short of the line. You would think Tim Mander's in pretty good position. I don't think that Gordon Tallis believes he's got the ball to the line, although hard for him to tell with his back to it.
Well, it doesn't look like it's too short. So it's on the line for mine.
Well, now the Brisbane players are surrounding.
Now Gordon Tallis thinks he scored a try after watching the replay, but it's up to the video referee tonight. A few pats on the back. Any part of the ball on the white line.
Well, I wouldn't want to be making the decision.
Well,
it's a very hard one.
I'm pretty sure he's going to give this try, but at the end of the day, we're going to have to finish up putting a camera right along that try line. There's a green light. John Gosha, former grand final referee, is the video referee tonight. Gordon Tallis, he was the first one to tear up his ticket. He didn't think it was a try.
Very good work again from Lottie Takiri, coming into this game, taking over from Darren Lockyer at fullback. Proved a real handful. That's a lovely offload. And Gordon Tallis, well, he probably hasn't got any right to score that try because there are enough Parramatta defenders to stop it. He's attracted 4, and they still couldn't stop him from putting the football down.
This is the form that Gordon Tallis has been in for the last, 6-8 weeks, just rampaging at his best. He's so powerful, good leg drive, strong upper body strength as well. And it's amazing he actually gets the ball down on the ground.
Yeah, you would have thought there was enough Parramatta personnel there to stop him, or at least to hold him up. And that's exactly what I thought was happening. But then Tallis got the ball down. I thought it was back into the field of play, and so did Gordon Tallis.
I think in that situation, Ray, when you've got numbers in the tackle, somebody's got to make the decision to go to the football and take care of the football to make sure that it's not going to get to the ground. And that was probably Stuart Kelly's role there. He was the last man in and had the best play at the football.
Ben Walker is 8 metres in from touch. He's 22 metres out. That's what he's got from the western side. It's coming around perfectly. Just what the doctor ordered for the Broncos fans. 17 minutes and 6 points to 0 over Parramatta. 6-0. A try at the 16th minute for Gordon Tallis opens the scoring in this blockbuster clash between Brisbane and Parramatta. Brisbane walking the tightrope. They know that they have to win at least one of the last 2. Parramatta, of course, they're trying to make the top 4. And a win here tonight would almost certainly see them do that. Callis again, tearing them apart. Kelly Walderson. Webke. Just outside the 40-metre line. Steve Roach, sideline.
Across to Brian Smith when the green light came up. I tell you what, he wasn't very happy. He didn't think it was a try.
Walker was trying to get an inside kick. Eventually, it's with Shabowski. Hindmarsh. And he did well. There's 2-on-1 out there, but Wagon keen to protect the football. Lockyer's back. This is Kalis. Now Hindmarsh. Young back rowers. They get through a lot of work, don't they, for Parramatta? Schiavoletti. Not so young, but gets through an equal amount of work. David Penner is acting hard. He dances back to the short side as Webke went out to close down his options. The 40-20 kick, is it?
Yes.
It is. It's a beaut kick by David Penner. No doubt at all. This will give the Eels a good chance.
Very clever kick there from David Penner. Sidestepped out of dummy half, and from 39 out from his own line, finds touch inside the 10. You won't see about a 40-20 this year.
Now, Wendell spotted that. He saw that he was in a bit of trouble there. He ran back. The kick was just too good for him.
Brought a clap from Mark Tukey, waiting on the sidelines to come back into the game. Parramatta then. Inside the 20-metre line. David Kidwell. He beat the tackle of Sean Berrigan. Back to the centre, and then Dimmick stepped back to the blind. Schiavoletti looking for an opening. Schiavoletti left. Penner in for Vella. Michael plays it sloppily. Schiavoletti. Now Dimmick. Dimmick's over. That's a try for Jim Dimmick. Parramatta have scored. It is 6 points to 4.
Plenty of determination there from Jim Dimmick, reminiscent of Gordon Callis at the other end of the field. Schiavoletti, a nice inside pass to Dimmick. He had plenty of work to do, but he was intent on getting the football over. Poor play the ball from Michael Vella. Then a little bit of space up the middle. Ryan bounced off. 3 defenders there as well, and Dimmick slams the football over.
Well, Jim Dimmick has said, whatever Gordon Callis can do, I can do better. And Peter Ryan went for a big hit there instead of some effective defence. And once again, they've got a player surrounded, but still great determination gets him over the line.
And
he's roaring, he's happy.
David Penner deserves plenty of that try as well. Wonderful kick from Penner to give them field position and possession. The next set of 6 across the stripe.
29th career try for Jim Dimmick. South Sydney, Western Suburbs, Canterbury, and Parramatta.
It was a sloppy play the ball because it touched one of the Brisbane players as he was getting back into the defensive line. Schiavoletti now 1 for 3 last week, kicked 72, just under what Ben Walker's hitting the ball.
It was a suggestion that Vella knocked on in playing the ball. 19 out, 19 in for Clinton Schiavoletti to level in front of a big crowd. I can't see any vacant seats out there, and that is great news for the NRL. That's greater news for Parramatta. They are level. It is even Stevens at ANZ Stadium. Lockyer at 6'6". Brian Smith hasn't sat down. Talking to Brian, I cannot believe that his intention ever was to start the game with anybody other than David Penner in the half-back position. The penalty goes against the Broncos. Tim Mander's the man in charge. 21 is Eric Groth Jr. Penner purposefully finding the line without taking any great risks. Tukey brings a crowd roar. The ball came loose. Mander has ruled a knock-on against Tukey. Tukey, I think, believes that he might have regathered it before it hit the ground. Mark's headed for Auckland next year. Yeah, he lost it. Whether it got some help, I'm not absolutely sure.
Yeah, it'll be a tough night for Mark Tukey because he's coming up against two of the best, Andrew G and Shane Webke. Tough as Duke. Brisbane now with Tony Carroll taken well.
Ooh!
Tackled Dimmick and Savoski.
Big hit on Carroll. Now Tallis. Tall inadvertently called him Gordon Callis. I think sometimes when he takes the ball at the defence line, that's exactly what his name should be. 29 out from the Parramatta line. Very good. Waldy. Webke. Eastern side. Walder's now. Oh. I thought that might have been a shade forward to Ryan. This is the last now. Forget that. Let's go with this. And Shavovsky. Just in front of Carroll.
Nice skill there from Walker. Little left footer. Comes from one side of the park to the other. Saw a hole there. Kicking for his outside men. Carroll was steaming through. He ran a good foil, didn't he? I think David Kidwell. Without shepherding, just running back to get the football and made it very hard for Tony Carroll to get around him.
Yeah, his action stations all around. It did take a rebound on the way through. That helped the chasers as David Penner to wonky kick away. And a bounce to Walker around the 40-metre line. He finds Shane Webke. Geez, how to start with this game, Webke.
Skivoletti over the top of McCracken. 6 points all. Brisbane got the first. Gordon Tallis, close range stuff, both ends of the park when Dimmick replied. Now Lockyer, graceful, then away. Second bounce. Walker. Campion. Looked on the inside for Walker, but the tackle was good from Penner. And Luke Burt is on over on the far side of the ground. Peter Ryan is brought to a halt. 10 away, centre of the field. Berrigan, Walker for Campion. A grubbing kick and knocked forward by Brisbane.
Yeah, knocked forward by Wendell Saylor. Another great piece of skill. Kick goes through from Campion. Saylor through 100 miles an hour. They couldn't ground it.
Again. I think it's Adam up in the blimp, the Goodyear blimp, giving us some tremendous pictures, dangling out of there like a grape. Tukey. Don't repeat that on here, please stop. Now Tukey. David Penner. Oh dear. No need for that. Tallis is with it. Brisbane counter punches. Hancock. A run. Why not? Offload for Tallis. 30-metre line. Parramatta's end of the ground. Walters. Walker. Burt and Penner, the defencemen for Parramatta. Duvia. Walters. Thorne. Arm in the face of McCracken. Lockyer, the handoff. And Lockyer's heading for the ground. Still 30-metre line. Parramatta displaying their rock-solid defence in the last set of 6. Typical Parramatta defence. Lockyer's kick is high. Very, very high. Oh! Talk about high. What about Eric Groth? Up there, Kazali, down you come, boy.
I think he got on the way down, didn't he? Oh, that is magnificent.
Shavovsky.
Well, you talk about defence. Parramatta, they're number 1 this year. But Brisbane are the second best. It's a great take. Parramatta conceded 44 tries. Brisbane 54. under 2 and just on 2 for the season.
Completions high. Chip by Smith. Bird is after it. He's got the ball. Turnover.
Got a touchy in.
This is from the air.
He's addressing as a penalty, is it? That's all it is?
The contest is
Just
there.
penalty?
We're going to touch judge in.
Okay.
Brad,
Not
here,
touched by
thanks, mate.
Brisbane.
I think it was back at the play the
Yeah,
ball
we're
where
not
the
quiet.
infringement took place. Thorne being called out.
He made a tackle.
Brad, stand up, thanks,
He
mate.
made a tackle on the Parramatta player, and they both had hold of each other in a bit of a wrestle. This player decided to come down with the forearm, down on the player's head.
Okay, hold on. You get the mark for me, Phil? Brad, just stand up, mate. Listen, once that tackle goes, mate, you got the ball and
Do not
touch the
forearm
blade, okay?
job
Kick your arms out of it.
from Brad Thorne on Dallas Western. It'll bring a penalty. Back where the tackle took place. Brad Thorne, 103 career game. One of the game's tough men. But that time he got found out by a touch judge over on that eastern touchline. Almost half an hour gone in the game. I can't believe it. Time seems to go much more quickly, doesn't it, when you're having a good time. Moran for Western. You're enjoying this, Sterling. I can feel it. The tension's coming off you. The heat's coming off your head. Now, Schiavoletti through from Moran. Smith with it. Beautiful pass. Wagon. Schiavoletti again. They've got numbers on the blind side. And Jason Smith. Dummy half going to the short side, gave them 3-on-2, but they ran out of room. Moran and Dimmick combined. Dimmick goes back in. Bella's with it. Now, Kelly. Origin player. Last tackle. Dimmick acting half. Now puts a kick in. Manda, did it strike him? Lockyer grounded in goal. It is a line dropout for Brisbane.
Playing quite well, Parramatta. What they're doing there, sending the ball out through the half and 5/8, and the Brisbane defence coming out very quickly out wide. Then they're throwing a couple of inside passes and catching the tired Brisbane defence now half hour into the match and making a few holes back on the inside.
Interesting comment that from Paul. Wally, do you agree they're getting tired, Brisbane?
They are, and I think it's with the speed of the game that's really caught Brisbane out at the moment. Every time Parramatta are playing the ball, they're leaving the Broncos stranded, one player on the ground. The Eels, they're very disciplined in their defence, getting up off the ground quickly.
Gee, that was poor play for Parramatta there, not taking that on the full. It gave the Brisbane chasers probably an extra 15 to 20 metres.
Michael Vella playing it on the Brisbane 40-metre line. First tackle's gone. This is the second for Moran. Third play with us now. Smith behind Wagon, picking up Kelly, cutting out Burt, finding Growth. Good work by the kid. Kelly now carries it to the 30-metre line.
Oh, that was great work because that was a bad pass. There was nowhere for him to go, and he was only ever headed out.
Tackle count. Eroding. Careless. Looking desperately for an inside runner. Now Dimmick. Scheming, probing. The kick is good. Schiavoski will score. Quentin Schiavoski has scored. Parramatta's in. He's gone for the replay, but I think it's a try.
Yeah, the only doubt Tim Manda has is the sideline as to whether the push has put the try scorer or we think the try scorer into touch. But I think you'll find that Clinton Schiavoski has taken advantage of a wonderful kick from Jim Dimmick. Everybody's onside, there's no doubt about that. And it gets in behind Michael Hancock. Schiavoski on the fly. Hancock turned to chase, gets the football down. That's a 4-pointer.
Beautiful kick by Dimmick. He scored the first try for the Eels, and he's made the second for Clinton Schiavoski.
There it is, and hasn't Jim Dimmick really stepped up to the plate tonight? He's been in everything. Taken them on, his short-kicking game has been good. He's been heavy in defence. 10 tackles out there and sets up this beautifully. Ran to the line. There's some space there in behind it. We've seen quite a few clubs, including Manly last week, made plenty of ground using the same tactic. And they've done it again. And Schiavoski, another player who's had a big first half tonight. Got a nice bounce, didn't he? and a good dive in the corner. They hit the front, the Eels.
Clinton Shavovsky from the Goodyear blimp. The kick by Dimmick, precise. Shavovsky perfectly placed.
It is going to be a tactic used by both teams for the duration of the match. Both defences are rock solid, coming up fairly quickly. One way to combat that is to slide it in behind, and Jim Dimmick has had some success. I'm sure that we will see Brisbane try it at the other end, and Parramatta continue to do it in the next hour.
Biggest crowd here this year, 33,289. And they are absolutely chockers here tonight. I might be dreaming, but I can't see vacant seats, and that indicates to me that we're up around 48, probably 50,000. And somebody said rugby league was struggling in Brisbane. Well, if it was, it looks like it's back tonight. Shavovsky has got it. Ooh, just gave out one big grunt and it went over. 12-6. The Eels over the Broncos. 7 to go to the break. Welcome back to a fabulous night here. National Rugby League at its best, and two of the big guns get together. And I talked about the crowd. And Parramatta, of course, again proving that they are one of the great crowd pullers. It doesn't matter where you take them. They attract the people.
Well, with almost one half gone, Ray, it's very interesting to have a look at the Parramatta tactics employed tonight. They've had so much success against Brisbane, kicking the ball into touch, getting matches against them where there hasn't been a lot of ad-lib football from their opponents, where they've gone into scrum formations, set formations. Tonight, inside passes, a little kick over the top, find some space.
They've got it back again. Luke Burt got the ball away. Now it's gone out from Taylor. Growth is with it. Sailors with Growth. And the ball goes into touch.
Off the Brisbane player.
Touch by a Bronco player.
Did he play at the ball, though?
Yeah, it's a Parramatta scrum feed here. A great chance, not far out from half-time. Little kick again. Very well placed, and Luke Burt finds Kalis. He throws the cutout pass, and Eric Growth, trying to get the ball back inside, has the ball touched by Darren Lockyer. No, in fact, it's Michael De Vere.
Just got to put a question mark on Jason Smith's proximity to the kicker on that occasion. Now Dimmick, 5 3/4 to the break. It is 12-6 and 2 tries to 1. The Eels. McCracken steps up to the plate. Penalty, Parramatta.
You're all over it, Luke. Get out of it.
This could be a very big call by Tim Mander. 10 outs, 19 in for Clinton Shavovsky to put them 8 points in front. Let's look at it and see if we've got any reason to disagree with Tim Mander.
No, Luke Critters, as the referee pointed out, all over. Man trying to play the football. And one thing that we have heard throughout the first half of this game is Tim Mander telling the players to get the hand out of the tackle, to stop putting their hand on the football to slow things down.
Interesting comment you made at the start of the call, Ray, about Tim Mander and the fact that he's got this game tonight. Has he become the #1 referee in the eyes of some people in the top in the NRL? Well, he's handled this one very well.
He certainly has.
He's had no trouble with the players. He's handled them well, and no mistakes so far from Tim Mander.
There's no doubt in my mind that this is the #1 match of the weekend in a smorgasbord of good matches. I'm not denying that Sunday's game, St George Illawarra against Sydney City, is top draw, and Canberra Penrith is a 5-star game as well, but this has to be the match of the round, and Tim Mander's in charge. So here he is. Shavovsky has missed it. Shavovsky, who's had a tremendous night, misses the penalty. 12-6 Parramatta. Close to half-time. Drop kick restart for the Broncos. Fairless back to halfway. David Penner. Michael Vella. Parramatta applying as much attacking pressure as they can. They are sensing that it's a very good time to grab them. Some of them are having trouble keeping up. Jason Smith now. Chaos running into a hard tackle from Bridges and Campion. Away from Penner now for Dimmick, and Dimmick for McCracken. Good tackle by Kevin Walters on McCracken. Jason Smith looked to kick, pass to Daniel Wagon. The kick ahead, the crowd groans. They thought it was forward. He's been grounded in goal. The number one for Brisbane, Darren Lockyer. Parramatta will get the ball back.
It did look very dusty this pass, didn't it? This one here from Jason Smith.
It's forward, all right.
Propelled forward, no doubt about it.
Only about 1.5 metres. This could well be a tough call on Brisbane.
Well, we've got 2.5 minutes left. I'm just wondering whether Parramatta, if they haven't scored in the first 4 or 5, might just take a point out of Spore down the end of the field, although that's a great dropout from Lockyer, 55 metres on the fly. Kalis picks up a good 20-25. It wasn't a particularly good chase from the home team.
I don't know whether it was a bad chase, Peter, or whether they're running low on petrol. That chase on the dropout typified just what some of us are feeling, watching the Brisbane forwards in particular. Now, did he play at the football? No. Jason Smith is with it.
No, that'll be
Tim Mander remains motionless. The arms, anyway. Hindmarsh. 1.5 minutes to halftime. Smith again. Dimmick now. Tukey this time. Dimmick run round. McCracken in. Cut out ball. Szymanski! Szymanski for the corner. Szymanski's there. Oh, Quinton Szymanski! Quinton Szymanski has scored a beauty. Oh, this is a gasser.
Yeah, what a way to go in at half-time. Szymanski, he put his body on the line. Very good play here on the 5th tackle, or 4th tackle, going to the 5th. Tukey goes to the line, but he backs back. As we freeze it there, you can see it's given them an extra man in the outside man, because Hancock has to come in. And as play continues, the cutout pass now puts Szymanski into open space. Plenty of defence coming, and it's strong defence. Carroll, Lockyer's there. He just pushes into Darren Lockyer, the shoulder drop, and it takes him over the line. Again, Dimmick involved, and that pass from Jared McCracken, it was the key ball.
It was a cracker there from the former centre. They're playing in the back row. Look at the determination on this bloke's face. The ball's a bit loose there, but he's gearing himself. He's ready for the big effort on Lockyer. Like a speed bump, Lockyer, straight over him. Great effort there from Clinton Szymanski.
Don't worry about field goals. Parramatta celebrate because they know that's a telling blow. This is another shot of it. You'll see Tukey, they do this a fair bit. He attracts 2 defenders, Tukey. So they took one out of the line. The pass from McCracken took advantage of the overlap that they developed. Carroll didn't have the pace, and Lockyer didn't have the power.
Oh, that's just the supreme effort, Wal. Szymanski capping a brilliant first half.
They're playing it magnificently, Parramatta. The way that they're planning their attack has been first class. Sterlo mentioned there may have been the hint of a field goal coming in. I believe that's exactly what the Broncos thought. But the way that they structure their play at the moment, really, that's exactly why the Eels have been leading the competition for such a long part of the year.
Yeah, well, inside passes and attacking the short side. It's a tactic we haven't seen employed. They're having great success in both those areas.
Szymanski at half-time. The siren has sounded. From the touchline, and no, it fell short. He's been threatening to leave them short, and this time he does exactly that. But no dramas for Szymanski, and none for Parramatta. 3 tries, 2 of them to Clinton Szymanski, 1 to Jim Dimmick, who set up another, and Gordon Tallis scored for Brisbane. It is 16 points to 6. Parramatta leading Brisbane in front of, I'm tempted to call it a capacity crowd. We will come back with the second half of the action, but right now, details about a tremendous Sunday footy show this weekend. 16-6 in favour of Parramatta, 3 tries to 1. A fantastic exhibition of rugby league in the first 40 minutes from them. And there's the Goodyear airship looking down on ANZ Stadium with probably 50,000 people here with the Mitsubishi match day.
Yes, and to beat Brisbane, you need to have more possession than them. Parramatta very well served in that department. 57%, 19 uses of the football, only 13 for Brisbane. That's down on what you would expect for 40 minutes. They controlled it very well, both teams. Some late missed tackles in that first 40 minutes did cost Brisbane. Parramatta getting over on a couple of occasions.
Andrew G playing well in defence tonight, and Evan Campion as well. He's always up there. Shane Webke hitting the ball up strongly, and Michael DeVere out in the centres has done 15 tackles. The Parramatta's attack being aimed out there, especially down the blind side, having a few sneak goes, and Michael Vella, Jared McCracken and Dean Scafiletti all working hard in defence, and Nathan Kalis has done some fine work in attack.
And there she is, the ship, provided by Goodyear, and giving us some great shots tonight. But it's one job that I will not be applying for them.
He's hanging on like a grape with that problem.
We're ready for the second half. The Broncos from left to right. And they're playing against a white-hot Parramatta outfit tonight. Beautifully coached, well prepared, and they're playing as they trained, I would imagine. This is Michael Vella. Wally Lewis with us in commentary tonight. We will be as we come through to the finals in a couple of weeks' time. Wagner. First use of the football. Tukey is through. The Eels then with Dimmick to the 40-metre line. We'll go to Steve Roach and find out what the coaches had to say in just a moment. The big fella's in it again. Now Vella. Oh, gee. Wayne would not be happy with some of this defence early. Scafiletti, Smith, Benner, Dimmick, rubber kick, betting each way. And Brisbane in the field of play. Michael Hancock. Steve is back from the sheds, and Brisbane coming off their own line. And a problem for Hancock. I'll watch that, Steve. Welcome back.
Yeah, we've got Brisbane Steve Renouf. Steve, Wayne wouldn't have been very happy at half-time. The boy's looking pretty tired, plenty laying around to play the ball.
That's right. He picked one of those as our faults, you know, just laying around, just not doing the little things, getting extra bodies there, you know, into the tackles. And like I said, it's just those little things, and he just wants them to pick up on that. Yeah,
I really thought the turning point in the first half was a 40-20 kick. You guys seemed to drop your head after that.
Actually, you hit the nail right on the head, you know. Wayne pointed that out as well, and you know, after that they sort of dropped off and they stopped chasing the kick. So like I said, that's another little thing. Just get to the kicker and put the pressure on him, and we dropped off doing that.
Well, how was the week for the Broncos? An easy week considering the tough game last week against Manly?
Yeah, it would have been. Knowing Benny, it was a Sunday match and the Friday backing up. It would have been pretty low, you know, low key, just getting the boys fresh. And you know, that I got all faith in them, mate. They've got plenty of time to come back. They just got to do those little things right and come off, you know.
All right, Steve, thanks for your time, mate. I'll just do quickly, Brian Smith, you know, he said silly passes and ordinary kicks are costing us. He wants more thought in that. He said it took his side 30 minutes to get on top in the first half, and he said it's going to take 30 minutes in the second half. He said, don't worry about things out of our control. Just get on with it. He thinks that they're on the rack.
Right, Steve Roach there, and his guest tonight, the Pearl, Steve Renouf. Vellana. Gee, we saw a very interesting, wasn't so interesting from Brian Smith's point of view, Stuart Kelly taking all the wrong options.
He ran a long way to go backwards, didn't he, as Jason Smith, it's a pressured kick away. Wendell Saylor would come in, take the ball, heading out from his own line. Good chase again. And that speech at half-time from Wayne Bennett, it's only the first time in 12 outings he's addressed his team, or the second time, when they've been behind at the plate. Trailed Sydney City a few weeks back by 4 points. In the last 3 months, they've always had the ascendancy after 40.
Now the Broncos go on the attack. 20-metre line. They start this next set. Andrew G. Penalty against Parramatta. So they go for the 6 points, and the pass was a horror. Walker. 10-metre line. Webke. Ball is loose. Penalty Brisbane.
Well, I think that was a good decision. Skipper Liddy was offside. A chance here for Brisbane. They had numbers, couldn't get the ball wide.
This will be a test for the #1 defensive team in the NRL. Walters. Pritis. G. Webke. 3 metres from the line. Pritis again. Oh, intercepted by Kidwell. Now there's a foot race on. David Kidwell run down eventually.
Great chase, Michael Hancock. Still numbers to the left for Parramatta if they can get it wide. Beautiful take there from Dimmick. Goes back to short side. Kidwell, he's got to be too tired to hit the ball up again.
Kidwell put down. An anxious coach, probably seeing it as the chance to wrap it up. An early knockout in the second half wasn't to be. Skivoletti for Kalis or Hindmarsh, and now for Wagon. And Daniel will play it. 9 metres away, western side. Hindmarsh stepping. Hindmarsh, he's over. Hindmarsh is there. Well, Manda wants to look at it.
Just check the grounding of the ball.
And the only doubt as to whether Nathan Hindmarsh has got the football down. They believe that he has, but he hasn't. There'll be no try, although was the ball raked out by Darren Lockyer because there was a player around his bootlaces. This is going to be a very interesting decision.
Well, that's exactly the way it has turned out. Watch it, there are 2 in the tackle. Even if one of them dropped off, he would be considered to have been the second man in the tackle. And the head-on shot call seemingly suggested that Darren Lockyer raked the ball out to stop the try.
It did look as though he had a crack at it, but no, that's not the way it's ruled from John Gosha. Ryan Smith shakes the head. It's a 20-metre tap for the Brisbane Broncos, but wonderful snap there from David Kidwell. And what about that chase from Michael Hancock? He was down and out a couple of minutes before this, down on his haunches. Beautiful stuff there from the veteran. And no doubt about it, it was a rake there from Lockyer. Got his left hand in there and just went push.
I must say I cannot believe that John Gosha has come up with a 20-metre restart. I would have thought it was obviously a penalty for a rake out.
Well, it's a penalty try.
Well, I suppose that comes into consideration as well.
If he doesn't rake it out, then he scores.
In fact, it's not the first time we've debated that very subject this year. Now, Andrew G, I don't know what happened to Andrew. The Phantom took it off him. Now we're on the 40-metre line. Brisbane's end of the park. A very controversial ruling has just passed us. We will read more, we will hear more of the try for Nathan Hindmarsh that was decided not to be a try. There is no doubt in my mind it was a rake out. Hindmarsh. Aiming it back to where he just came from. Inside ball for Nathan Kalis. There they are. To the 20-metre line again. Oh, Dimmick. Well, what's going on out there? Andrew G, Jim Dimmick. Steve Rose on the sideline. Yes, Steve.
Well, Parramatta are having no luck with the video referee. I'm not saying that they've made the wrong decisions, but that's the 4th occasion in 2 weeks that they've had to go to that video referee. They have not got one decision.
Just back on that incident, I'm trying to think of the
Just have a break, fellas.
incident early in the year where it was the talk of the town as somebody is sent to the blood bin.
Well, David Kidwell scored a try against the Cowboys where he dropped the football, and there was some debate up in North Queensland, or from that game in North Queensland, as to the validity of a penalty try.
I think you're right. So here it is. There's 2 in the tackle. That's the first thing you've got to remind yourself of. And Darren, well, obviously John Gosha is of the belief that all Lockyer was doing was making a tackle. Brisbane with Walker. Brisbane now to the 40-metre line, their own end of the park. Starting on Sunday, you'll see the exclusive live coverage of the Qantas Pan Packs. Ball to ground. And a knock-on rule. Just let me extend that. It'll be live Sunday night at 6:30.
They're on a roll, Parramatta, with their defence. I mean, they're slapping each other on the back, forcing Brisbane into errors. And what I like about their game tonight, Parramatta, is the variety in their attack. So many inside balls and drop-offs, searching for holes, and they found quite a few.
Dallas Weston now. Jim Dimmick. Plenty of players with him, wanting the football. Kidwell pops it over the top. Shabowski. So elusive. Very hard to recall the first attempt at tackle, shutting him down. Now from Dimmick. Long and wide. Penner and Smith. Smith now for Wagon. Wagon for Burt. And Luke is put away. 15 out from the line. Western side. Smith. A run around. A dummy. Bella. Well, Bella looked to me like he took his eyes off it.
It's the old run around. This is one of the oldest in the book, this one. The decoy around and back on the inside. The best of pass there. Passes from Dallas Weston. You've got to catch them in big games like this.
Almost 10 minutes gone, second half. Handling error, 6-5. The Eels making just a fraction more. Thorn. Brisbane visited the Parramatta line, but that ended, of course, with the intercept for David Kidwell. Now Peter Ryan, back for Lockyer, and Lockyer put down by Daniel Wagon, and Peter Ryan is injured. He stayed down. Critters outside the 40-metre line. That's Ryan. And inquisitive Brad Thorne goes in to see if his teammate is okay. Missed tackles creeping up alarmingly for Brisbane. Tallis. Now the last. Lockyer. Beautiful kick. And then marked in goal. Down on his knees by Clinton Shabowski. Ryan back to his feet. Dallas Weston. Running with a spring in their step, Parramatta. Everything they do, clinical. It looks like a lovely preparation has been put in for this match. Keeping in mind they came off that defeat at the hands of Balmain in the quagmire. Then they scrambled home against Penrith a week earlier than that. Kraken to the 40. 16-6 and 51 minutes gone. Wagon.
Brian Smith will have drilled into his team that their opposition tonight are never beaten. They will hang in and can score quick points. Last tackle now with Penner getting a low trajectory kick into, nearly into the in-goal area. The chase is good, and the Sailor, not much room to move, as has been the case most of the night.
Berrigan. Burt went into a tackle unsuccessfully for Parramatta. There he is in trouble. Now Lockyer into his back line. Throws the dummy and is ridden to the ground by Daniel Wagon. Takiri. He played a part in the try for Tallis at the 16th minute of the first half. Played a major part. Walters. Parramatta right up, looking them in the eyes. Lockyer making the fullback work, and off his own line, Clinton Shabowski, probably the star of the game. Well, we've got a problem for Luke Burt. Early reports are a broken wrist. Growth. Almost feels eerie calling young Eric Growth Jr. From my point of view, anyway.
It's a big medical call. Hoping that it's going to be a wrong call early on with broken wrist. Crack, broken, whatever.
Tukey. Now inside the 40-metre line, and Moran puts it out on the full. Well, there's no David Penner, is he? We will break. We will come back to ANZ in just a moment. 16-6 Parramatta. 53 minutes of the game gone. 16-6 the Eels over the Broncos. And 3 tries to 1. And if you missed the first half, you missed a crackerjack performance from Parramatta. Walters in on the wide blind side for Talos. Look at them driving in. The blow and go. And there's a miniature army here at ANZ supportive of Parramatta tonight. Now for G. Swivels and takes the tackle. 20 out, 5th tackle, centre ground to the left. The grubber from Lockyer, mixing it up a little bit. And that man is there again. His name is Clinton Shavovsky. Now to Stu Kelly, correcting the error of his way, realizing the quickest way to the try line is straight ahead. That is Hindmarsh. That's the wrist of Luke Burt. And this is how it happened. Givoletti. Wagon. Moran. Dimmick. Dimmick's kick. Straight to Lockyer. Away from his 40. Down to the halfway and beyond. Into enemy territory now.
The last 2 kicks from Parramatta, not what Brian Smith would be looking for. Giving the ball over in good field position. And that is danger against this Brisbane team, who can start to sniff something coming. They're getting some momentum now, a couple of offloads.
That was great front row forward play from Shane Wetke. Blood from the face of Darren Lockyer. Walters runs into the brick wall. Schiavoletti comes out of it, clutching at the head. Philip Lee, the ball away. Brisbane with it, play on. Blood coming from that gash above the right eye of Darren. Now a chance for Brisbane. Batted down, and Shavovsky is there. Shavovsky gets it back. Oh, what a tremendous night it's been for Clinton Shavovsky.
He's having the night of his life, this young bloke.
He's hurt.
He's now down hurt. The referee has stopped the match.
Stay down, mate.
But he's just done well to save the try, because it was a drop ball in position, but then has the audacity to make 30 metres with a slashing run.
Just wondering whether it was actually a drop ball, Paul, or whether it was a bat down. I can't believe somebody would bat the ball down in your own in goal.
No, he misjudged it when he went up. That's Lockyer off to the blood bin after that head clash with Jared McCracken. I think you find Daniel Wagon tried to catch a football, Ray, but in the end just got one hand to it. It's a good offload there, finds Schiavoletti. That takes them 44 out from their own line.
Now McCracken. Big charge by the New Zealander. Schiavoletti. Proving that age doesn't weary them. What about Michael Hancock's chase on David Kidwell earlier? That fits into the same basket. And this man is no spring chicken either. Jared McCracken having a blinder. Jim Dimmick away. Jason Smith to the boot. Wendell Saylor now from his own 10. Stuart Kelly realising that you need more than one on Wendell if you're going to stop him effectively. De Vere, 21 away from their own line. Berrigan, snappy little player, like a fox terrier, but he's very, very good. Now Campion. Ooh, you can hear it. Skivoletti hitting Campion. Walker, Tallis off the 40, away, Ryan, run around, Tallis over the halfway, pull down, bootleg stuck, good tackle, Dimmick. Now Walters, now Walker. Walker running away from Carroll, puts the pass back on the inside for Hancock, and that's the turnover.
Take it back, take it
Parramatta coming up with it in reasonable field position.
Well, if Parramatta were guilty of a couple of poor kicks, as Tim Mander finds an indiscretion in the Broncos' ruck. Players not back to 10 metres. Well, Brisbane were very guilty of the same error on that occasion. They had a golden opportunity to plant the ball deep into the left corner. They need back-to-back sets badly. They can't play Parramatta at this game at the moment.
This is Kalis to the 30-metre line. A report on Luke Bird in just a moment. David Penner, inside ball. Michael Vella. And Vella is on the 20-metre line, centre of the park. Parramatta invading the line again. Now McCracken. Taken down by Walker. Dimmick again. Skivoletti at first receiver. Penner at second. And Penner is put away by Walters and Campion. Now Dallas Weston. 5 gone for the Eels. Skivoletti aims to kick. He does that right across the park. Battered down by Parramatta. Brisbane tried to get a catch on it. It's back with Luke Burt. He puts the kick up high into the air underneath it, De Vere. And De Vere comes away for the Brisbane side. Dimmick is down, clutching at an ankle for Parramatta. Sailing up.
Yeah, Dimmick leaving the field, put the hand up. It's like an ankle problem there as well. It's Philip Lee. Takes it over the 30-metre line, did well because he carried a couple of defenders.
Walters and Tallis. Jim Dimmick was contesting possession with Gordon Tallis, and that's how it happened. Halfway line. On tackle number 5, Lockyer with the head bandage back very quickly. Now it's Growth Jr. My thanks to the medical team on the sideline who gave me the report on Luke Burt.
Yeah, he just apologised to his family.
Yes, exactly. Now, Kalis. Steve Roach, what's the story?
Yeah, well, the doctor is almost certain that he has a broken bone in the wrist and he's had a noodle. What a gutsy effort. He's back out there. Just a comment on the Brisbane Broncos. They need more from Saylor and Carroll. We know what great broken field runners they are. They need to go looking for the football if Brisbane are to get back into this one.
Here's Vella, pushed away for Skivoletti to go on to find Penner. And Penner takes them into Brisbane territory. Skivoletti kicking out of dummy half. Hancock getting a good bounce.
David Penner's got to take over the kicking responsibility again for Parramatta, as he did in the first half. Strong tackle, Lockyer. At the time it was Daniel Wagon, who's had a tremendous defensive game. Michael De Vere getting involved now, but Penner far and away the best kicker for Parramatta tonight.
Strong defence by Daniel Wagon. This is Berrigan. Bouncing around like a cork in the ocean. Dimmick on the medicab. Problems for Parramatta. He's been very good tonight, Jim Dimmick, really playing one of his better matches. And he's played some great matches. Walker beating two of them, including Vella. Finding Lockyer. The ball to ground. Was it knocked down by Parramatta? Yes, it was.
It's knocked down, Michael. A bit high, but
We will break at 16-6 and be back in just a moment. Welcome back. 16-6. No change. Tremendously exciting first half. And no change in a very tight second half. Michael De Vere tackled just inside the 30-metre line as the Brisbane supporters rise in chorus. Sailor to the 20 now. A little smell of the opposition's red zone for Brisbane. Thorne to the 10-metre line. Another test for the Parramatta defence. Walton, Walker, Lockyer, Berrigan. Berrigan held 2 metres away. Now from Walker, out for Walters. And Walters is met by Jason Smith and Dean Skivoletti. Penalty to Brisbane. They indulged too long. Walters takes the tap penalty. Lockyer. Is it coming? Is it coming for Brisbane? Hancock. Still the Parramatta defence. Hangs on. Prentice. He's over the little number 9. The number 9, Luke Prentice, has scored for the Broncos, but Manda wants to have a look at it.
Well, he's just having a look as to whether there was any obstruction with the markers for Parramatta not being able to get to the try scorer, Luke Prentice. But that was their third set of 6 in a row. It was a bad penalty to give away in front of the post because it was 4th tackle, late in the tackle count. Dallas Weston has appealed to the sideline that he was held out of it. Well, I'm not quite sure whether there was enough interference from Michael Hancock. Well, he does grab him. Another interesting decision for John Gaisha.
My word it is. It's a big one. Prentice. A good little dart there from dummy half. What will John Gaisha do? Will he award the try? He has. He's deemed the interference. Not enough to deny the try. But the champion Brisbane side, they're gathered there just around the halfway area, steeling themselves for this last 15 minutes.
Well, I've got to disagree with John Gaisha again there, because when you play the football, you are not allowed to grab the marker. Now, if it inhibits in any way Dallas Weston, which he obviously believes did, I just think that's got to be called back.
Well, it's going to be a controversial point, but what it has is placed enormous pressure and importance on this goal kick coming up. If he misses it, it could give Parramatta the opportunity of a field goal to stretch the lead.
So Walker's hit the upright, it's bounced away. 16 points to 10. Steve Roach on the sideline, another look at another controversial try.
Yeah, they've really started to put the pressure on, haven't they? The Brisbane Broncos. I don't think it's a try. I think he was held there, Dallas Weston. Just a quick one on Jimmy Dimmick. He's got an ankle problem. They're just giving him 5 minutes, and there's the goal kick. Unsuccessful.
Well, Tim Mander asked the video referee, John Gaisha. He said, I want you to check that there was no interference in the marker area. And there was.
Blatantly. I mean, whether or not Weston was going to stop Prentice from scoring the try is totally irrelevant. The rule simply says that a man playing the ball will not interfere with the marker. I cannot believe that that was neglected. To Carey now. We'll go back to the replay to have another look at it. Hancock's the man to watch, the man playing the ball. Just gets up, grabs hold of Weston, and another for that matter. I'm not sure that they would have stopped the try, I've got to say that to you, but at the end of the day, that, as I just said, is irrelevant. A rule of the game was broken.
Well, Gordon Tallis trying to force a pass there. He's given Parramatta possession. Daniel Wagon cleaning up. And 14 minutes left in this game. 6-point lead. The Eels would love to turn it into 7. Possibly more.
Well, that opportunity might be just up the road for them. Hindmarsh is held by 3 Brisbane defenders. Skivoletti scampering away down the short side. Tukey now. And the last tackle is with Parramatta now. They've gone to Jason Smith. He takes the shot. It's got the height and the length, and it's a field goal. It is there for Jason Smith.
Oh, he didn't hit it.
Seems a wobbly old kick.
No. It doesn't matter how they get there, Ray, as long as they do. It might have even got touched in flight. These days it makes no difference as long as it goes over, and it scrapes over.
As a dead set, duff. He's duffed it over. Doesn't matter, 7-point lead. Had they gone off too early, though, with the field goal?
So Parramatta now leading by 7.
I take your point, Paul, but I think that psychologically it's quite a blow because all of a sudden again Brisbane need to score twice to win the game.
Play by Vella. Jason Smith now turning it in for Hindmarsh. And hasn't he developed? Hasn't he come ahead? I was talking about Clinton Shavovsky earlier, but what about Nathan Hindmarsh? Now for David Penner. The crowd figure, by the way, is 45,257. Oh, Joe, I'll come back to that. Smith not held, passing from the ground. McCracken away urgently from Moran. And then, Kevin Walters marked the ball and lost it.
Get out of jail, free card, that one. Moran, he's put this kick in straight to Kevin Walters. He turned around to run away into a big hole and dropped it cold.
And not the first time tonight we've seen a ball dropped unchallenged. It happened to Andrew G. It happened to Jim Dimmick. Now it's happened to Kevin Walters. 7-7 the handling errors. David Kidwell. He's made up into a brilliant centre. Kelly now. Kelly. Tremendous gain. They're down 25 away from the line now. Smith. Penner couldn't take it. It went forward off the hands. Amanda looking at the touch judge.
Down, mate. Stay away from the hands, okay?
It was all rapid fire, but a knock-on has been ordered. Loose head and feed has been given to Brisbane. Carroll hitting the line. Lockyer trying to get the kettle boiling. 30-metre line. A groan from the crowd. An appeal for the penalty.
And of course, on the sideline, as Jim Dimmick has done, ankle ligaments would not be back for the last 11 minutes of this game.
Walters. Philip Lee. Webke trying to crash through the middle. Been very, very strong tonight, Shane Webke. Little kick by Ben Walker. Tremendous move across the ground by Jason Smith. He knew that it was urgent, and he lifted.
Well, Ray, it's not the first time he's been able to cover up for one of these either. Sterling, you'd remember that he did one of these in the final State of Origin match at Lang Park, which really diffused a tight situation. Got his team out of jail again.
So 17-10. In front of 45,257. My only question is, where did they put the 58,000? Where did they put the 58,000? Would somebody please tell me there's 13,000 more than here? I'd just like to know where they sat. Now, Jason Smith. Sailor. Walters. Lockyer. Carroll. 2-on-2 out there. They both held their ground, the Parramatta defenders. Somebody was just telling me that they had standing room where there are now seats apparently in the bleachers areas. That may account for it. Before you think I'm being critical, please don't. I'm very, very happy to see the crowd back to watch the Broncos at ANZ in numbers like tonight. Philip Lee to the 40-metre line at 17-10. And there's 8 minutes to go. And there's some colour coming back into Sterling's face now. On the last for Lockyer to step. It's away from Moran. It goes on to Tallis. Then away to Carroll. Now to Hancock. And a kick that Szyboski will clean up. This will be a test for Szyboski. No, it's not. Nothing to test for Szyboski. He is having one enormous game.
Brilliant game. I mean, it's one of the biggest games of the year for Parramatta. And Szyboski made a good run. There's drama here now. Someone being called, Andrew G being called out.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes.
Touch judge coming out.
He made a previous mistake. He's not here now. He came over the top with a bit of an arm on the player. The other player from Parramatta gave him a bit of a shove, and when he stood up, he threw the punch.
Okay, so instigator and overreactor. Okay, penalty here.
Instigator and overreactor. Frustration coming into the play there. Andrew G, not normally his go.
Well, I think he probably could have penalised Webke for being the third man in the tackle. It was a totally unnecessary tackle anyway for the third man in, which was Shane Webke. I don't know that Brisbane can complain too much there. There was an array of reasons to give a penalty. Daniel Wagon now. Tukey. Absorbing game. Kraken. 3 metres short of halfway. Now for David Penner. Penner, he lost control of the kicking game for a while. He's got it back in now as Lockyer goes to ground. Yes, if you like the swimming action, and we have got some young champions in Australia, haven't we? You'll see it live on the 9 Network on Sunday night at 6:30, and then through until the following Saturday night you'll see it at 7, and it will culminate with the 1500 metres on the Sunday afternoon, all live on Channel 9 as Tallis gets the ball away for Hancock.
You know, we do like to beat the Americans in the swimming pool.
Well, this is basically what the Pan Pacs is all about. Australia v America. Chuck in some New Zealanders and a couple of South Africans and some Japanese and Chinese, but walk it out. Oh, did Carroll knock on?
Knock on there.
Yes, he did. We will break. We'll be back in just a moment for the closing stages of Parramatta and Brisbane. 17-10 as we bring you back to ANZ. Hindmarsh. Strong. Brave. Wagon. I've seen from him tonight, Daniel Wagon, some things that I hadn't been giving him credit for.
Yeah, Ryan Smith has shown a lot of confidence in Daniel Wagon. He's a player that he originally coached at St George. Brought across, and he's really played well the last few weeks, especially as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, defensively. He's been outstanding there, hasn't come up with a miss, and come in at the right time to defuse a few dangerous situations.
David Penner. Drifting across for Nathan Kalis. And the fifth tackle is with Parramatta now. As Jason Smith takes control and rolls it over the sideline.
That's a smart kick there from Jason Smith, just wasting a bit of time now. Been some fine performances tonight for Parramatta. One player who I think is being their top three will be Dean Skiffolitti. He's had a magnificent match. Tackling wise and around the rucks, his dummy half work has been absolutely brilliant. He's run at the right times, he's been heavily involved in all facets of their game. He's had a blinder.
Well, you mentioned the smorgasbord of games we have this weekend. How important now the Canberra-Penrith match. The outcome of that, the Raiders, they'll be lifted by this performance tonight with Brisbane, we believe, going down. Didn't make that statement with 3.5 to go.
Might be better if you don't say anything at this stage.
Thank you, Ron.
With a sock on it, Spanky.
You've caused enough trouble this season. Now Lockyer. He's been in the wars tonight, Darren. Been off and on again. Here's Takiri. Good hands by the big fellow. And a very determined run.
Great tackle, David Kennedy.
Ben Walker. In for G. On the bounce for Tallis. Nice hands by the second rower. Here's Berrigan. Got a ball away for Hancock. Kidwell right on top of them. Another test for Parramatta. Are there any leaks in the wall? Brisbane have tried and they can't find any. And again they repel them.
Well, they're trying everything, aren't they, Brisbane? Some of the passes haven't stuck tonight. They've made enough half breaks to win the match, but Parramatta's scrambling defence has been just terrific. Every time there's been a bust made, someone just gets there. It's that sort of game for them.
It really has been strong, Wally, hasn't it, as Wayne Bennett heads down to the dressing room.
Yeah, he'd be a little bit disappointed in what he's seen out there this evening. He knew that the team were in a little bit of strife the way that they fell apart through Manly's strong play in the second half. But he knew exactly what he was up against. They would be planning right from the time they got on the plane last weekend. They knew that they were up against a team that were going to play this match clinically and been beaten by a much better team this evening.
So Brisbane, I said earlier, are walking the semi-final tightrope. Now they're walking the plank as well.
Well, I mean, if Penrith do beat Canberra on Sunday, then Brisbane can still make it. We come back here next Friday night when they take on Canterbury. So they still might be alive after this weekend.
Brisbane down by 7 and Sailor almost to the halfway line. Just over a minute to go. You can hear them almost rejoicing from O'Connell Street. As Daniel Wagon heads off for the line. Daniel Wagon is going in. Another try. Right on full time. Brings the smile of victory for Parramatta.
Yeah, we'll just see if Daniel Wagon is onside. And no infringement involved in that. It was a scrappy try. The Broncos just throwing the ball around, trying to find someone. Strong defence. Eventually Wagon picked the football up. Let's just see how it unfolded. Kick straight into one of the, in fact it was Daniel Wagon. A little bit of a knock on there from Brisbane. They throw the ball out wide. Strong tackle on De Vere. It looks as though that will be okay. I don't think Stuart Kelly knocked on in the tackle.
That's probably debatable. Here's De Vere in his attempt to pick it up. And then it comes off Kelly, but it comes off the tum-tum.
And he was onside too, Wagon. So it caps a fine Parramatta performance here tonight. Got a great record here against Brisbane, haven't they?
An untidy try.
Still
In
with
fishing terms, you'd almost throw it back, wouldn't you? But they won't.
take the 4 points.
Well, he's had a fine game, this former St George player, Daniel Wagon. This has been a marvellous effort, really. 12 consecutive wins up to tonight for the Brisbane Broncos. Or should I say 12 consecutive matches without loss to get it exactly right. They're still looking at this try. Kelly makes a tackle on De Vere, and the ball comes off Kelly's stomach. And it's a try. Well, he hasn't had an easy night, John Gosha, the video ref. I don't think at the end of the day, when the dust settles on his head, though, anybody will ever deny that the team in blue and gold has been the better team. And look at the Army. They've made the trek north. The Goodyear blimp, high shot of it. The siren has gone. We wait for a conversion attempt on this try by Wagon, the fourth of the night for Parramatta. 2 for Shavovsky. 1 for Dimmock. Injured, and that's a very big worry. And 1 for Wagon. The other try came for Gordon Tallis. It was the first of the game at the 16th minute for Brisbane. 12 in, 20 out. It has been a fairy tale night for Clinton Shavovsky, the boy from the Crushers. And Parramatta put the welcome mat out and said, come to us and rebuild your career. He misses the conversion attempt. So Parramatta have beaten Brisbane 21 points to 10 in front of a super crowd. Personally, I think there are more here than 45,000. But that doesn't matter. The good news is that the rugby league fans have returned to ANZ Stadium tonight to watch not only the Broncos, but one of the most popular, if not the most popular team in all of Australia, if you go on crowd figures alone. And they are the Parramatta Eels, who I expect after tonight to firm dramatically to take Rugby League's major prize on the last Sunday in September. Well, there it is from ANZ. I will take a break from football for a week while I go and do some swimming with Nicole and Daniel Kowalski and Rob Woodhouse. We will bring you some swimming action that I think will be absolutely world standard. Records, medals, it's all waiting for Australia during the next 8 days of swimming excitement. We will break now from ANZ. Peter and Paul with the post-match review, and Blocker will have the McDonald's $1,000 man of the match for you on the other side of this.
The Parramatta Eels have added to their already impressive record here at the ANZ Stadium with a 21-10 victory over Brisbane in front of over 45,000 fans. It finished 4 tries to 2 with Clinton Shavovsky grabbing a double. Dimmock and Wagon also crossed. Shavovsky kicked 2 from 5. Jason Smith added a field goal. While for the home team, Tallis got the first of the night. Pritis also a 4-pointer. Ben Walker kicked 1 from 2. A very good game plan employed once again by Parramatta tonight, well executed by their players. The man we chose as their best is with Steve Roach.
The $1,000 McDonald's man of the match goes to Parramatta fullback Clinton Shavovsky. Congratulations on the effort tonight. You continue your good form up here at ANZ Stadium. Had plenty of wins up here over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's right. We come up here to do a job tonight, and I think we did a good job, and we're sort of leading our way into September, and I think things are looking pretty good for us at the moment.
The scoreline looked like you won quite comfortably. That wasn't the case. It took you 20 minutes in the first half to put them away and longer in the second half to do it.
Yeah, that's right. They're a champion side. That's why they were the premiers last year, and we're just glad to get out of here with a win, and we'll just continue on from here and see what happens.
Clinton, after last week against Balmain, the loss, you look very well prepared this week. Was it in your mind over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was always going to be a danger game for us at Balmain. They had a big game, plenty of emotion, but we freshened up this week, and I thought we did the job great, and everyone aimed up well.
Yeah, we all know how good the Parramatta defence is, but plenty of options in attack too. It was a great effort.
Yeah, that's right. Jimmy and Smithy have got the boys firing, plenty of options both sides of the ruck, and everyone's supporting up well, up the middle well.
All right, mate, congratulations on the $1,000 from McDonald's, and good luck next week.
Cheers, mate. Well, I thank McDonald's, and say a quick hello to me Nana. She's in Clermont. She's still really crook, and I hope she's doing well. Cheers.